Hi, I'm Paddycake, and this is my best friend, Brent. We've been besties for a while now, and one of the things we bonded over was our shared love of Madlibs. On Christmas a few years ago, Brent pitched the idea to me to create a show where we use AI art to accentuate the humor of Madlibs. 3 weeks later, we started filming, and we haven't stopped since. Through this project, we hope to share our weird humor and to highlight both the unexpected beauty and complete absurdity of AI-generated art. Welcome to MidJourney Madlibs. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please come in and make yourself at home. My name is Paddycake. Welcome to Paddycake Games and the next episode of MidJourney Madlibs. And with me, as always, is my best friend and co-host, Brent. How are you doing?
I'm great. There was a weird sound cut out in the middle of that, and I thought I was a little confused, but you know.
That's just Discord being Discord. All right, well, we're not going to waste any time. You guys know how this works. We send each other Madlibs. We send each other the answers to go into the Madlibs. We then take those sentences. We run them through MidJourney. We create a series of art. We get together. We share it with each other, and we laugh. And that's the show, and we hope you like it. If you do like it, look down below the video. There's a button just for you. It's a thumbs up button. Just means you like the video. And if you're doing that, you might as well look right next to it. There's a subscribe button. You can click on that too. That'll really help out the channel a lot. And if you want to be really, really thorough, click the notification bell. That lets you know when new videos get posted to the channel. And then if you want to really join the community, look down in the description of the video. There is a link to a Discord. You can come and join the Discord. You can chat with me. You can chat with Brent. You can chat with any of the other people who like to watch the videos on my channel. And if you want to see the art up close and personal, come and join the Discord, because after each episode airs, all the art is there available for you to see in close detail, warts and all. All right, I'm done talking. Brent, give us a Madlib. I'm excited.
I was on my way to our Labor Day weekend things and realized I forgot to grab some Madlibs to send Patrick the words. So I stopped at Buc-ee's along the way and got 2 new Madlibs, and this is from one of those 2 new Madlibs. This is Travel Far and Madlib. This first Madlib is Airport Security Checklist, and it's in the style of Luc Simon. Luc Simon was a French painter known for his emotionally charged style that fused abstraction and figuration. His work often featured bold, dynamic brushstrokes and expressive use of color, exploring themes of mythology, spirituality, and the human condition. While Simon was influenced by various modernist movements, his artistic vision was uniquely his own, blending the symbolic and the abstract to create deeply introspective pieces. He came from a long line of artists and so had multiple artistic influences from a young age. Despite being a respected painter, he also collaborated on monumental stained glass art for religious spaces, and one of his most notable works was La Annonciation, a monumental stained glass window in the Church of Assisi in France. The piece reflects his talent for combining abstract and spiritual elements, which became a hallmark of his art. Another significant work is The Garden of Olives, a contemplative piece that showcases Simon's ability to infuse religious and mythological themes with raw emotional energy. Luc Simon was married to Pablo Picasso's former lover, François Gillot, for 7 years, and they had a daughter. And this further exposed him to the world of modern art and avant-garde experimentation. Although Picasso's influence is present in his exploration of form and abstraction, Simon developed his own distinct voice, often more focused on spiritual and existential themes than the overt political commentary found in the older painter's work. He even had a couple of acting credits in the 1970s in the movies Lancelot of the Lake and Zigzags. While Simon is certainly not as well known as many of his contemporaries, he has managed to create a beautiful art that should be celebrated. Now enjoy my Madlib in Luc Simon's enchanting art style. So you finally made it to the bleeding day. You're about to insert to a faraway destination. I know, the connotation.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's kind of pretty and evocative. I like it.
Bleeding day sounds like, like...
Yeah, it sounds like it's that time of
womanhood
month, right?
or something like that.
Yeah, it's when Aunt Flo comes to visit.
Or maybe just the first time, but Anyhow,
This almost looks like just a
Yeah.
black and white photo that's had a red color filter added to it.
this is one of my favorite words that you gave me. Like I've said in my lifetime, I have a couple of favorite words, and this is one of them.
Okay.
The last thing you need is a clever situation when going through airport security.
Well, that's certainly a, well, I don't know. Is it a clever situation? I'm not sure exactly how to define that.
Well, you know, there's also that sarcastic version. Are you trying to be clever right now?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think I've actually said that before.
Yeah. You know, because it's sort of like you're not funny. Like you think you're funny, you think you're smart looking, you look like idiots. Here is a yellow and dirty list to help you get through with no issues.
It sounds like it's written on that legal pad and then they dropped it somewhere. It's yellow and dirty. Well,
And
interesting.
this is the only one that gave me a yellow list at all. And there were only 2 of them that gave me a list.
Okay.
And both of them were girls holding up notebooks like this. And the other one was just a white notebook, and it didn't look dirty.
Well, and then I said as soon as you read it, I mean, I immediately thought of the yellow legal pad that's sitting on the desk on
Yeah.
Jody's desk because he uses it to take notes at work. And I was like, oh, it's a yellow and dirty note list or something on one of those little legal pads. And then she's holding up
Yeah.
something that looks almost exactly like what he has. Only his isn't spiral; it's tear off. You know.
Be sure you have your sneaky fox and plane ticket ready to forget the agent.
Hello, Sneaky Fox, with your plane ticket. Well, he's got it all covered because he's a Sneaky Fox who has a plane ticket. So he always has a Sneaky Fox because he is the Sneaky Fox. This is Star Fox, you know, after he retired from the force. And
This
he
is
had to get a desk job.
his alter ego, his human, or you know.
Oh yeah, or maybe
You know
it's
what I mean.
his less successful brother who's always jealous of him.
So he's in Zootopia. No.
So it's Star Fox and he's Office Fox.
Don't forget to throw out any bottles of maple syrup that exceed 8 ounces.
Oh,
That stuff's expensive.
right? Why would you do that? Okay, that's
So
nice.
it seems as if you've just decided to get a whole bunch of little ones.
Right? So yeah, that's so you don't have to throw them out because they don't exceed 8 ounces.
Yeah. But it seems like at some point there'd be a limit. Like, okay, you've got enough bottles of maple syrup.
Right? And they're obviously all different flavors too because they're different shades. So they're not,
Yeah.
you know, they're all
Maybe
maple
they came
syrup,
from
but
different areas.
like, well, that maybe like one is maple cinnamon, maybe one is maple spice, one is orange maple syrup,
Or one's like
something, I don't know.
a spring syrup.
I think on the far left is just olive oil.
Don't get stuck waiting 72 hours in line.
My God.
Kick through the line as blatantly as possible.
And step and kick. It's like they're all lined up dancing.
It's
Oh my
funny
gosh.
because I got so many different variations of this theme. A whole lot of people standing in a long line.
Well, I mean, it makes
and-
sense. You're waiting 72 hours in line. That's probably how it would.
Yeah.
But I just, this one, they're all weirdly kind of standing in the same kind of position. Like they're in the middle of a
Yeah.
dance move, or they're all walking, they're like marching in time together, and it was all frozen in one step, you know? Because don't wait 72 hours
Yeah.
in line. Kick through it. Just kick those bitches out of the way.
Kick through the line as blatantly as possible. Remove your weird dudes and put any swimsuit models in the bins on the conveyor belt.
Well, I guess she already removed her weird dudes. And she dropped her swimsuit model off, or whoever it is. It could be male or female, I don't know, because that's the swimsuit model, obviously, that they dropped
Yeah, in the bins. Yeah.
in the bins, yeah.
And a lot of. What is all this stuff in the bins? What are these people traveling with? Are they
know.
all like couriers for the postal service? Make sure you don't have any metal video games in your sweaty sock, or else the agents will trip you.
Really? They're that serious. They'll make you fall down. Sir, is this metal video game from your sweaty sock? No, it's not mine. I was holding it for a friend.
Follow these effective rules, and you should get through airport security in the blink of a spleen.
Oh. I wasn't aware spleens could blink. Oh. Gosh. Is that what it's like to navigate airport security nowadays? I don't know. I haven't traveled in a long time.
So, I just had to do this because that's kind of the feeling I was getting from this. This is a, like, you know, a very convoluted pathway. You got to go past all these desks and around these cubicles. And, oh, excuse me. And even once you've already, like, passed, you still have to figure your way out. Yeah. That's the end of the story, but not the end of our fun.
Yay!
Time for dishonorable mentions.
Well, I mean,
right,
this is great. This is great so far, so I know these are going to be great. This is... God, they almost look obscene.
They look like lampreys or ooh. So you finally made it to Bleeding Day. You're about to insert to a faraway destination.
Oh, so Star Wars.
A very, very faraway destination.
In a galaxy far away.
Here is a yellow and dirty list to help you get through with no issues.
Oh, don't touch it, girl. It's dirty. Why are you barefoot? You're outside in the city, walking on concrete. Why are you barefoot? Where are your parents?
In a tutu. Yeah, right.
And the sign.
I don't think you're supposed to leave.
So the sign is obviously in it's either Japanese or Korean, right?
Yeah.
That script, those characters.
Mm-hmm.
So and that thing looks like a Japanese or Korean mascot for something. So it's weirdly makes sense, but it's still weird.
Yeah. Be sure to have your sneaky fox and plane ticket ready to forget the agent.
Oh, he's so cute.
I like this though.
It's
is
super
really
cute.
I mean, like, what's the game? Root or
no? Root, the board game.
The D&D setting. No, there's a D&D setting where you're
Humblewood.
Oh yeah. Do they have a fox?
Yeah.
I want to play that fox.
Yeah, the Vulpine. That's what my character in Humblewood was. He was a Vulpine sorcerer.
Don't get stuck waiting 72 hours in line. Kick through the line as blatantly as possible.
Okay, Saruman.
Like, I'm done. Saruman the Red.
Saruman the Red, yes.
Remove your weird dudes and put any swimsuit models in the bins on the conveyor belt.
Oh, that's funny.
I had to do a spot redo on these because two of the ladies were topless.
Oh, MidJourney's been doing that a lot lately. It's kind of weird.
A lot of topless ladies. Yeah. This is the end.
Oh, that was good.
I don't know.
That was really good.
I like this art on here. I like how the picture turned out because I did this also in his style, and I just did the title of and something about her face just looks. I don't know if she's happy or sad. She's just like, this is so mind-numbing.
All right, but before we get into my Madlib, I hear that Lady Shablagoo has another story to tell. And now, Southern Fried Scary Tales with Lady Shablagoo.
Well, hello everybody. Once again, I'm back, and I got to thinking that since it's getting close to the end of the season, I ought to tell y'all a story about someone, or maybe something, that my Mama Josie used to tell me about when I was a little girl. You see, Mama lived between Abbeville, Alabama, and Wills Crossroads, not far from the Abbeville Memorial Cemetery, and she'd always warned me to never be out after dark, in the woods, or even in town when I was visiting. She'd say, Now, Nolia, that was her special name for me. If you see the sun setting on top of the tree, you better hightail it to this house or your Aunt BB's lickety-split, and I don't want no sass. You don't want her to set her sights on you. Now, before I get to who her is, let's talk about the boogeyman. What is the boogeyman? Well, of course, everybody knows who the boogeyman is. But then again, nobody knows who the boogeyman is. It's usually some sort of he or maybe an androgynous they, but he or it can take many forms. A creepy little troll, a normal man with dark thoughts and cruel intentions, the monster under your bed or in your closet, or that shadowy figure in your room that you tell yourself is a coat hanging over the door, only to wake up the next morning and see there's nothing hanging on the door. It seems the boogeyman has an affinity for children, especially naughty ones. Or maybe that's just what we adults say in order to not be afraid. The boogeyman often seems to conveniently inhabit those places our parents don't want us to go. And they spent so much time trying to convince us he wasn't in the places that we knew he liked to hide. In the attic, under our bed, in the closet, or in the basement. We could always tell they weren't so sure he wasn't there. But we'd pat Mama or Mama on the hand and pretend we weren't scared, for their sakes. Believe me, kids, adults are afraid of way more things than you kids are. And while most boogeymen are a he or it, mine was a she. At first, hugging Molly don't seem like a scary thing. I mean, I've known some uncomfortable huggers in my day, but hugging Molly sounds like a jolly old thing, right? Well, not for us kids in Abbeville. And staying after dark wasn't something we did willingly. My mama wouldn't even let us camp in her backyard, and that was something we did at all of our other grandparents' houses at one time or another, and we were happy with that arrangement. So, who hugging Molly was is up for debate. Mama said she was a nice old lady who lived near the woods on the edge of town, and all the kids loved her cookies. When they'd leave, she'd hug them and tell them to run home quickly and stay out of the woods. My aunt claimed Molly was a mother whose only child had died in the 1906 Abbeville fire, and she always hugged any children she came across to remind herself of the child she'd lost. I really don't know who she had been, but we all heard she was a 7-foot-tall woman wearing all black and wore a wide-brimmed hat. She'd move through the darkness, and if she spied anyone out after dark, especially kids, she'd stalk them. And if she got to them before they made it inside, she'd snatch them, wrap them in a tight hug, and shriek into their ear. Ma, indeed. Now, she'd never hurt anyone, so they say, except for ringing ears and maybe a few bangs or scrapes if the huggee tripped and fell in their haste to run away afterward. It was still a moment they weren't likely to forget soon, or care to repeat. Now don't forget to come in at night when you're around Abbeville. Bye, y'all.
Wow, these stories just keep getting better and better. But now it's my turn. I am excited about this Madlib. This gave me a lot of pictures that made me laugh really hard. And it also introduced me to an artist that I didn't realize that I loved as much as I did. So this Madlib is called The Worst Sci-Fi Nightmare I Ever Had. And my art is in the style of Fernando Botero. Fernando Botero was born in Medellin on April 19, 1932, to David Botero, a salesman that traveled by horseback, and Flora Angulo, a seamstress. Botero received his primary education at the Ateneo Antioqueño, and thanks to a scholarship, he continued his secondary education at the Jesuit School of Bolivar. In 1944, Botero's uncle sent him to a school for matadors for 2 years. Some of his earlier drawings were inspired by the bullfight scene. He sold his first painting for 2 pesos, thanks to a merchant who allowed him to display it in the window of his shop. His love of drawing nudes caused problems with his Roman Catholic education. He was expelled from school after defending Pablo Picasso's art in an essay. In 1948, Botero, at the age of 16, had his first illustrations published in the Sunday supplement of El Colombiano, one of the most important newspapers in Medellin. From 1949 to 1950, Botero worked as a set designer before moving to Bogotá in 1951. Young Botero also worked as a newspaper illustrator to support his artistic interests before attending San Fernando Academy. His first one-man show was held at the Galeria Leo Matiz in Bogotá, a few months after his arrival. In 1953, Botero moved to Paris, where he spent most of his time in the Louvre studying the works there. He He lived in Florence from 1953 to 1954, studying the works of Renaissance masters. Later in life, he lived most of his time in Paris, but spent 1 month a year in his native city of Medellin. He had more than 50 exhibitions in major cities worldwide, and his work commanded selling prices in the millions of dollars. On June 10, 1995, while his son Fernando Botero Zia was serving as Minister of Defense, a bomb containing 10 kilograms of dynamite was placed underneath one of Botero's bronze sculptures on display in Medellin's Plaza San Antonio. The resulting explosion killed 23 people and injured 200 more. The perpetrators were never identified. A horrified Botero decided that the damaged sculpture should be left in place as a monument to the country's imbecility and criminality, and donated an intact replica to stand alongside it. While his work includes still lifes and landscapes, Botero concentrated on situational portraiture. His paintings and sculptures are united by their proportionally exaggerated, or fat figures, as he once referred to them. Botero's work, Still Life with Mandolin, marked the beginnings of this stylistic development of painting enlarged figures, and it became his trademark. Botero's 1964 painting Pope Leo X after Raphael has found a second life as a popular internet meme. It is typically seen with the caption, "Why though?" Botero died from complications of pneumonia on September 15, 2023 at the age of 91 in Monaco. While his most popular works could be seen as whimsical and maybe even a bit silly, they are greatly loved worldwide and even found in some unexpected places. Keep watching to find out more about that. And I did have a style blend, but sadly bad Photoshop didn't really add much to the prompts, so let's just enjoy my Madlib in the style of Fernando Botero. So, funny story about Botero. So we have an annual trip that we do every year, me and Brent and our friend Dan, who you guys have seen on my channel if you watch Settling the Scores. He's the guy that I do that show with, and he's also played some games with me on my channel. But we go tubing with him. It started when he lived here, and then after he moved to San Antonio, we just continued it, and our friend Vic comes with us. So we all go, the four of us. And there was this restaurant that we always wanted to try. Brent actually found it.
We were watching the YouTube show Day Tripper with Chet
Highly
Garner, and he goes
recommended.
around to different cities in the state.
Highly
And
recommended.
we watched that episode, and we decided to do the things on that episode. And I did some of the rest of them last weekend.
There was a restaurant that he suggested called El Chaparral on that episode that was apparently a very old, family-owned Mexican restaurant that was highly rated, and so we went and ate there. And it deserved all the praise that episode gave it, because it was one of the best Mexican food restaurants I've ever eaten at. But we noticed, Brent actually noticed.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Had to go to the bathroom, and I liked the bathroom. It was very nice, and I took some pictures of it because it was so nice. And then I noticed these little paint pictures on the wall. I just thought they were really cute. Then I started hunting down these artworks online, and they're all Botero in this little men's room at El Chaparral. I thought that was really cool.
It's just funny that this he had actually seen it before we even had our production meeting and thought about it, and I just thought that was wild. Let's go ahead and get started with my Madlib. The worst sci-fi nightmare I ever had. I had a dream last night that a crazy preacher was trying to perform experiments on me.
Are you the person that is having the experiments done on you? Because I could understand why someone might want to.
No, see, what's funny about this...
You're extremely tall.
Right. So what's funny about this is this looks like a monument because the Capitol building is behind it. So...
Yeah.
And so it's up on a pedestal surrounded by water. So it's like in a water feature. So it's almost like this is a statue.
Yeah. Also a statue holding something at that angle, that large.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be very dangerous. It would have to have some major structural support to keep that thing from like falling and, crushing something.
He took a strand of my nose and looked at it under a microscope.
Sorry.
So I wondered
There's
how.
so many things wrong with this picture, but there's one thing that's absolutely right.
So I wondered how it was going to interpret what a strand of a nose was. Then he told. This sentence made me laugh. Just the sentence itself is great. Then he told me to sit in his evil chair. And he gave me a teddy and some snack cakes.
This is definitely not making me feel good. This isn't the last bear we're going to see this week.
Oh, okay. But I was scared, like you would be when someone says, sit in my evil chair. No.
Yes.
But I was scared. There were a bunch of electrical goats tied to it.
Not
They're all
sure
like
how-
staring down at me.
It's disconcerting. So, I mean, do you just do electrical goats just generate electricity? I mean, how do you feed them? Do they take turns?
Those are all
hurt?
very good questions. Those are all very good questions.
And
do
do they need
no
to be
answers.
suspended from the air? You know?
Right. Can they just stand on the ground and accomplish the same thing? Oh, no, not safe. They must be up in the air. And I was afraid he was going to frolic me in it.
Well, that took a turn.
Yeah, I got some pretty creepy stuff sometimes, too. Lots of very large naked people doing things, usually eating or sitting in chairs.
Yeah, a lot of sitting in chairs. This does not look like cheesecake to me. Like, I want it to be cheesecake, but what it looks like to me is a cheese that you age and it develops a rind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's some soft cheeses that are like that and some harder cheeses that
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
like a brie, you know, or
like a
camembert.
smelly cheese-ish.
Yeah. I said, no thank you, verdant scientist. I'm getting the shrubbery out of here.
Sorry. Wow.
And of course it was in
wow.
quotes, so it put it into the picture.
He also
this
looks
one's-
sort of like a hill covered with trees here and there, and broccoli.
My immediate thought was broccoli. He looked me right in the ankles and said, don't you dare try to leave my dungeon. You can't skip. The door's locked.
I don't love this.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, the proportions are a little off, and also it looks like some kind of horrible torture device.
So I was thinking it more like an adult swing.
Or maybe it's he can't really walk, so he moves himself
It's
around.
giving him support.
this
Yeah, it's like
contraption.
attached to something up above. Yeah. Suddenly, he pounced on me, and everything turned to cyan.
It's so cute. So is this a really ginormous cat or just a cute little chair? I don't know.
It's a ginormous cat. It's a ginormous fat cat sitting in a chair, like Botero does with people. But it's a cat, and it's all cyan, and yeah, I guess the word pounce gave cat. You know.
Honestly, I think he's white and they just put some blue light on him.
Well, that's possible too. I woke up with 7-Up running down my temples.
That's totally Botero.
It
'Cause I
is.
played with that prompt, and yeah, that is straight up. It's wow.
What I think is interesting is the beads of liquid on the face. They look like pockmarks that have been cut out of the paint on
Yeah.
the canvas, which, if you're not right up next to it, would trick you into seeing a 3-dimensional bubble on their skin, like sticking out,
Yeah.
which is an interesting idea. I never thought of that as something that an artist could do with a painting until I saw it like this, and I was like, that's interesting. Thank Pickle. That nightmare is over. I hope I never see that frothy scientist again.
Oh, pickle. I'm
Yes.
like, why is he?
He's a pickle. He's a big old pickle. And he's holding a big old pickle.
He's been studying pickles for so long that he's turning in.
Or he's a pickle that has become sentient and is now operating on the lesser pickles. All right, but that's the end of the Madlib. Are you ready for some honorable mention?
Oh, sure do.
Okay, so this is, he took a strand of my nose and looked at it under the microscope.
This looks very Jules Verne.
It also looks more like a camera and less like a microscope. Does it look like a camera to you?
Yeah, but maybe it just has a special lens for
nose strands, right?
No.
It's
Strands,
the nose strand lens.
Oh my!
He told me to sit in his evil chair.
That's not you, is it?
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
that's him before he got up. He's just like, no, sit in my evil chair. And then he was going to get up. And I was like, no, please don't get up. These are the electric goats. The electrical goats that are tied to it. And I like all the little goats are like little piglet goats. Because they look like pigs.
Well, and she looks kind of almost like a cow. So,
I know,
their
right?
development is very weird. But she can stand on them, and it gives her like more.
Oh, I didn't even
insulation.
realize she was standing on them until just now. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
You thought she was like behind them?
Yeah, I thought she was behind them, but no, she's clearly standing on them.
Oh my!
And I was afraid he was going to frolic me in it. So remember I said when we were talking about this earlier, I told him that Botero gave me a lot of nudity. And it was all male, and then there was one that was non-gender specific. This is the one, which is why there are boxes where there are boxes. I said, no thank you, verdant scientist. I'm getting the shrubbery out of here.
Out of here. Yeah. Wow. That is great. I love it that the shrubbery is maybe like another employee, and they're like, get that shrubbery out of here.
And that is it. That's the end of my Madlib for tonight.
It's a rare night when I'm so grateful that your Madlib is in.
That's going to be it for our episode tonight. Thank you for coming by and checking out the video. Thank you, Brent, for hosting this with me. It's always a blast. All right, we're going to get out of here. Make sure you click like and subscribe before you leave, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Like and subscribe.
The algorithm demands it.